Suppose.
Order. Order. Lee Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Now then, it's Happy St Andrew's Day. I've had haggis, I've had iron brew, and I've had an SNP debate. I can recommend 2 out of the 3 any time of day. Since arriving here in 2019, it has always struck me that the party opposite are just a one-trick pony, ignoring their own failings in health, education and the economy to put their own selfish case forward for independence. But they're losing the argument. We know that by the recent polls. So they've adopted a new technique, a new tactic, which is to besmirch the good name of our great Prime Minister. Maybe, Madam Deputy Speaker, you should tell us where the missing £600,000 is and explain why senior members of their party stood down from the NEC earlier this year. Madam Deputy Speaker, their own MPs are asking difficult questions, yet the leadership remains silent. Maybe, Madam Deputy Speaker, they should apologise to the people of Scotland for the state of their education system, which is failing thousands of Scottish children, whilst they bang on about leaving the Union and rejoining the European Union. Maybe, Madam Deputy Speaker, they should explain to the people of Scotland that despite being in power for 13 years, they have the worst health statistics in the world. Quite frankly, Madam Deputy Speaker, they should be ashamed of themselves, wasting parliamentary time on a pointless debate that will achieve nothing. And they should explain, Madam Deputy Speaker, why after 13 years Scotland is going backward.
Order. Marion Fellows.
Can I ask the honourable member opposite to withdraw the remark about the worst health record in the world? I want to save him from embarrassment in the press.
I'm sure the honourable lady will understand that I'm not responsible for what the honourable gentleman says. I'm sure... order. I'm sure that if he feels he has said anything which is incorrect, he will want to correct the record. Lee Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Deputy. There might be a slight correction here, probably talking about the drug deaths in the Western world, which are the worst in the Western world. What we need to chat about here, Madam Deputy Leader, is the leader of the SNP, who has been very quiet about the £270,000 he has rinsed from outside earnings since he was elected to Westminster in 2015. That's a lot of money. It would take an average worker in Scotland 11 years to earn that sort of money. Yet he stands there every single Wednesday banging on about poverty when his greedy snout is firmly in the trough. And remember, this is on top...
No. I think it was made very clear at the beginning of this debate that we were going to insult each other. The motion is about the conduct of the Prime Minister. So perhaps we could take the temperature down a little. Lee Anderson.
I'm just trying to create an argument, and my closing comments will actually back up what I'm trying to say now. He's not, Madam Deputy Speaker, he's not even apologised about the drunken, loutish behaviour of his own MPs during a trip to Gibraltar just a few weeks ago. They were spotted staggering around.
The honourable gentleman must resume his seat. I think he's straying a long way from the motion in the debate. He is also referring to honourable members who I don't know whether here or not, but he should have notified them if he was going to refer to them. I suggest that he resumes his speech and just bears in mind those points that I have made, because I would hate to think that the public were looking at us and thinking that this had just become a slanging match. Lee Anderson. Point of order, Owen Thompson.
Madam Deputy Speaker, the member is making clearly erroneous accusations against members that are simply not true. I would ask for your guidance on how the member can remove and correct the record.
I think I made very clear my views about the fact that we had to be first of all, it's very important not to make references to members who are not here if the honourable member is accusing them of something. Secondly, that I do hope we can maintain an element of courtesy in this debate. It's not going well so far with the honourable gentleman speaker. Lee Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Now, I'm going to apologise to the party opposite, and we can clear this up straight away. I apologise about the Gibraltar comments, and I've spoken to some of my constituents who would like to see some of the MPs breathalyse next time they get off an aeroplane in Gibraltar, and that will clear it up straight away. Now, all this nonsense across here is in sharp contrast to our Prime Minister, who's got Brexit done by leaving the EU. He's delivered a £36 billion package to sort out the health and National Health Service and social care. Fastest vaccination. I will give way.
To my honourable friend for giving way. Didn't you think it was a bit rich for the honourable lady opposite to start talking about public spending in constituencies served by Conservative members, when we have some of the poorest constituencies in the country voting Conservative these days because the working people are trusting this Prime Minister?
I like my honourable friend for his sensible intervention, and only look at my own constituency of Ashfield, one of the poorest in the country, neighbouring Bolsover, neighbouring Don Valley, Rother Valley. All these places had millions and millions of pounds worth of investment.
True fact.
I also want to speak about the Prime Minister who has launched our plan for jobs, helping people get back into the work. We're cutting taxes, we're boosting wages, we're helping working families. And I'm going to stop picking on the SNP at the moment because I want to talk about the mass ranks of the Labour Party. Now, I'm struggling to see them at the moment.
One of them.
But they can't be bothered to turn up today, despite pretending they're bothered. They can't be bothered to turn up today. And they seem to think that there's a war raging in France at the moment, and it's acceptable for thousands of illegal migrants to cross our channel every single day. And they really need to get a grip, Madam Deputy Speaker. Now, another sign that the Labour Party has lost the plot is they want to replace our armed forces with human security services. A shift from the classic armed forces to a gender-balanced, ethnically diverse human security services tasked with damping down violence. Imagine that, Madam Deputy Speaker. A peace-loving British tank.
Order, order. I think we've actually, this is a motion about the government. I'm afraid the honourable gentleman needs to bring his remarks to a close. I want him to resume his seat, and I will call Wendy Chamberlain.